Hello, my name is Mrs. Warriner and it is my privilege to be the Head of History at St Ivo Academy. I've prepared a short presentation for you to take you through the highlights of studying GCSE history with us. I've provided my contact details at the end of the presentation, so if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you very much for watching.
Hello and welcome to our presentation about GCSE history at St Ivo. The images you can see on the slide here are all relevant to the modules we study for GCSE, and I'll talk in more depth about the individual aspects of our course later on in this recording. So meet the team. We are lucky to have a spread of 5 experienced and skilled teachers who will deliver the GCSE curriculum. I think whoever you end up with as your teacher, you can be confident that you're in very safe hands. Our exam results have historically been very high. In 2019, over 2/3 of our history students achieved grade 4 or higher, and we have big cohorts, generally between 170 and 190 students taking history in each year group. Our results come in at usually above national average, and for those of you that are interested in going on to A-level, our A-level results are generally even higher. So why study history? We work hard as a department to do our best to support you. We make our own bespoke revision books, which we give out free to all our pupils. We offer booster sessions, and every teacher will use the same resources, so you're getting a really consistent approach in history. Mention the exam results. In history, there's no higher and foundation paper, so the whole range of grades is open to you as part of the exams that you will sit at the end of year 11. I'm going to talk about some of these points later on in the presentation. A really important part for me of studying history is that it helps you make sense of the present. So in terms of understanding politics, current affairs, I think you need a historical perspective in order to make sense of the world around you. And I think that's very important for a lot of our young people. So why is history a respected subject? I think it's because of the range of skills that it can offer you. So obviously communication and written skills are a huge part of our subject. How to put together an argument. Particularly important in the modern world is the skill of handling information, discerning fact from fiction, sifting out the key points, making judgments, investigation skills, and finally, of course, analysing differing historical interpretations. Those are all things that our GCSE students are trained in and expected to do. And I think because of those skills, there is a respect for history as a strong subject to have at GCSE. What can it lead to? Well, a whole range of careers. I've put some examples on the left-hand side for you there. And for those of you that like to link things to celebrity, some names of people you may have heard of, and you can see there's individuals from the world of education, law, journalism and politics who've all got degrees in history. So we study 4 topics for GCSE at St Ivo, and that covers 3 papers. So our first topic is Medicine Through Time, and this runs from the medieval period to the modern day, and it's about making connections across time. So at the moment we've very much enjoyed making connections between the Black Death in the 14th century, the Great Plague in the 17th century, and of course the great coronavirus pandemic of the present day. And you can also see there we study Jenner and the first vaccination in the late 18th century, and there's huge parallels, aren't there, with what's going on today. We do a depth topic for the study of medicine which focuses on the Western Front in World War I, and we have in the past offered a trip to give students experience of that environment. More about that later. Our second topic, a complete contrast, early Elizabethan England. So this is very much a focus on politics, religion, government, and also a chance for students to try some social history, because we have an opportunity to study education, poverty, and also the impact of the great explorers at this time. Our third topic, again another contrast, superpower relations in the Cold War, focusing on the latter half of the 20th century. So we'll look particularly at US-Soviet relations and then events like the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in the late 70s. And of course, so much of that's still relevant for an understanding of the modern world. And our final topic at GCSE is a study of American history in particular. So again, very relevant to the Black Lives Matter movement is our study of civil rights in America in the 1960s and 70s. And as you can see on the right-hand side, we also focus on American foreign policy and their role in the Vietnam War in particular. And as I mentioned earlier, in normal circumstances, for a number of years now, we have offered a trip to the battlefields of World War I in Belgium for all of our students who study GCSE history. It's not a compulsory trip, it is voluntary, but it has proved very popular. And if restrictions are lifted, then it certainly would be my intention to offer that trip again. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this brief presentation. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can see my contact details on the screen there, and you can also find my email address on the school website. Thank you very much for listening.